Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's SAP Community Call. My name is Jennifer Machado, and I'm part of the SAP Community team. Today, I'm your host, and the topic of this session is Rise with SAP, your path to the intelligent enterprise. As always, this call is a recorded session, and you will be able to access all replays and previous SAP Community Calls, including this one, at community.sap.com under the Events tab. Our speaker for the session is Khaled Musili. Now, before I hand it over, I would like to make you aware of the Q&A button, where you can already raise questions during the presentation. And after the presentation, we will reserve some time to answer as many questions as we can. And with that, I would like to hand it over to our speaker.
Thank you, Jennifer, and welcome everybody to our session today about Rise with SAP. This is Khaled Musalhi here. I am the Solution Manager, part of S/4HANA Solution Management and Go-to-Market Organization. Our agenda for today is simply we are going to start by setting the scene first, and let's talk a little bit about why we need to transform as a business and what are the drivers, what are the triggers that lead to a need to transform as a business. Then on a high level, I will explain what is Rise SAP solution all about. And then I will talk you into the customer journey for how to transform as a business using Rise with SAP as a solution, as the path to transform the business from where you are today, moving it towards being an intelligent enterprise. And then I will sum out the story by sharing with you that Rise transformation packages, and that represents a big picture around Rise. And at the end, I would summarize it for what's exactly the benefits that you can gain from Rise. And then I will open the space for Q&A. As Jennifer said, feel free to add any questions that you have it in mind during the session in the Q&A box, and I will answer it at the end of the call. And also at the end of the call, we can have even a few interactive questions if you would have at the time. By this, let's move to the first poll questions. Jennifer, back to you to share these two questions.
All right, if you guys can see poll number 1, first question is, have you heard about Rise with SAP? Go ahead and answer. And poll question number 2, how important is business transformation for your organization? So I'll give you guys a minute or so. Awesome. It looks like the voting is slowing down. So it looks like a lot of people said yes, on a high level, they have heard of Rise with SAP, and how important is business transformation for your organization. They say very important. So I'm going to end the poll.
Very good. So I would say the numbers and actually the answers from the first two questions of the poll here is pretty much supports the need for this session, because we all understand that we are living in an environment where the only constant thing are the changes, and the changes that business are facing today are coming not only from one side or from one dimension, but actually we are living in, or we are facing a different type of changes, either from an economy point of view, environmental, technology disruptions that increase, I would call it, our customers' expectation, and the new lives, the new normals that we are all living due to pandemic situation. And last but not least is the competitiveness. And that happens because of the global economy that we are facing. So you are not only competing with the similar business provider or service providers in your territory, rather you are competing with a global customers, those may be coming from different countries, different regions. So all of these are drivers that we are all facing it in our business, regardless of the industry or the sector that we are in. And for this region, we do understand correctly, like, to be able to retain your business, to retain your market share, and even to have a better chance for growth and expanding your business, you need to transform as a business. And to do that, your ultimate goal should be goes towards being what we call it an intelligent enterprise. Intelligent enterprise, it is a strategy supported by SAP as a destination for our customer. And we are actually supporting this for quite some time now. And we do understand if you manage it to bring your business and your supported business application design and solution footprint similar to what we have here by having everything automated, brought to cloud on a business network on top, and then you have the intelligence suite in industry cloud together, building the core of that. That would be the best way where you can operate your business in a more efficient and optimized way. And that's what we define it as an intelligent enterprise. So what is the connection? What is the connection between RISE and the intelligent enterprise? And actually, the answer is very simple. RISE is simply the path that you could go through it from where you are in today and moving towards being an intelligent enterprise. So we have one goal, which we define it as to be an intelligent enterprise, to be more efficient, you're having more optimized operations, better control to your business. And regardless of your starting point, either being an existing customer using ECC, using S4 on-premise, or even if you are a new customer to SAP, we define one path, which is RISE with SAP, is business transformation as a service that could help you by defining a set of products, tools, and even some guidance that take you from point A moving to point B as a final destination, being an intelligent enterprise. So back in January this year, SAP has announced about RISE as a business transformation service, and we define their set of tools, as I mentioned, products and services together. And that's starting from knowing how your current business doing, using business process discovery, and then with some technical tools, some technical applications that you can use them to convert or to migrate your existing system, your existing business processes, your existing data, to moving them to a new destination, a new platform over cloud, either a private cloud or a public cloud. So we give you here some tools like SAP Readiness Check, custom migration app, and then we give you the application lifecycle management and SAP Learning Hub, like the overall arcing tools that you can rely on throughout the journey, either during its project planning or the implementation, or even after you are live and up running using RISE with SAP solutions. And SAP Learning now will be like the platform that you can rely on educating and leveling up the level of knowledge around these new products for your stuff. And then you have I would call it the digital core here, which is SAP S/4HANA, and we give you the options between public or private cloud, and that can be deployed in your infrastructure of choice if you are considering the private cloud edition. And then we have the business technology as a prime platform where you can extend the value of S/4HANA. You can extend the value by implementing good number of SAP cloud services, SAP cloud applications on top of B2B, or you can even consume partner developed applications and resources, or even you yourself can develop some of these cloud applications on top of B2B and again connected to your system. And last but not least is the SAP Business Network. This is also another way that you can extend your operation, collaborate with the different stakeholders. So those are the main ingredients, the different components that's part of RISE offering. So let's see in a real scenario how customer actually follow what we call it the proposed path that you can go through this journey, starting from where you are today and moving to the be an intelligent enterprise. So it is a journey, and in the next 15 minutes, I will explain in a little bit more details how each and every component, how each and every product included in RISE will help you throughout this journey. So we understand at the first initial step, you need to understand where you are today. How is your current business processes are performing, and if there is a room for improvement, and which direction shall I go? Shall I consider S/4HANA public cloud, or shall I go for S/4HANA private cloud edition? These type of questions you could ask yourself. You could be wondering, what would be the right decision or the right answer for this. And for this reason, we give you a business process discovery, which is like part of our business process intelligence, which is going to scan your current business processes, benchmarking this against the best practices in your industry, plus the digital discovery assessment that could help you in initial stage to tell you, this is how you are performing today, this is the best practice in industry. And by doing this, you could have a better insights that will allow you to decide which path to go for in terms of S/4HANA. So shall I proceed with the public cloud edition or the private cloud editions that suit my business better? So by using both of the solution, either the business process discovery or the digital assessment, we would be able to capture what's exactly scope of business processes, what we are talking about. And we can benchmark this versus the best practice in this industry, knowing also what localization, what legal functionalities that you needed for your business based on whereas today you have some offices or business branches for your organization. And last but not least, we are also helping you to understand what is the integration requirements that you could be requiring in this journey. So we are not only looking for what you are doing today in terms of SAP, but also what would be the future solution footprint in terms of using SAP products as well as non-SAP systems together. So that would help you in this stage. We call this is the planning stage. So you plan for the journey, and those tools will help you to get the right insights that you need to know upfront to plan better for your next steps. So by knowing this type of finding, and this is just a sample of the outcomes that you can get it from the process discovery, as how is this process runs today, and maybe with the different color coding, you understand how far you are from the best practices in this industry. You will get these numbers, and then, as I said before, will help you to better understand your current position, knowing the gap, and the system actually will guide you, giving you some proposals of how to improve this. Because we do understand the business transformation doesn't mean you are simply copying what you are doing today or maybe moving it to cloud. That's not the right definition for transformation. So what we are trying to help you, while you are transforming your technology platform, while you are moving from an on-premise platform to a cloud, it's also the right time where you can also transform as a business, transform how the current business processes has been defined or how been structured in your organization. And that's pretty much the outcomes that you can get it from the process discovery. So by knowing this, we move to the next step in the journey. And ideally, the next step is we are going to talk about a technical migration activity. And especially, I do understand the majority of you joining here coming from our install base and existing customer, you are using our ECC or S4 on-premise. So you keep thinking about how to convert my system. And here we are actually helping you by a set of tools that can help you in this regard. The first one is the readiness check. And this is very important because it helps you to analyze better the outcome from the business process discovery report, understand and give you some sort of a technical guidance on how to move to S/4HANA, call it the private edition or a public edition. So in the first stage, we help you to analyze your custom code, understand what you have today in your current system in terms of an added on compatibility. And those are very important, especially if you are considering the private cloud edition, because you are actually moving with your code, moving with your data, your configuration from your current environment to moving to a new environment. So this assessment in terms of added on compatibilities are important for you. We are also exploring and helping you what could be the implications that you are going to face when you move to the new platform, like what is the upcoming changes related to efforts, related to drivers, related to detection of some customs codes that you have defined, and if this can be complement or can be replaced by a standard code when you move to cloud. And last but not least, that readiness check will help you to best use of the SAP standard objects when you come to the new environment. So it's important also not to carry all what you have been customizing it in your previous instant or system. Rather, it's good to analyze it probably and understand which one I need to carry with me moving to the new environment and which one can be replaced ideally with a standard best practice functions or processes in the new platform through SAP S/4HANA. Those are examples of the checks or KPIs or indicators that you will get it from the dashboard of SAP Readiness Check. So you can see here different measures in terms of identifying what would be the size of efforts that you need to deal with the different business process moving. The compatibility checks for the different added-ons, especially again, as I mentioned, if you are moving your environment to the private cloud. So we have to make sure that there is the right added-on compatible with the SAP S/4HANA. And also in terms of even the storages that you need to move your current system data, configuration, and everything to the new environment. So a lot of checks, you can track it from the Readiness Check dashboard here, and that will be of a great help for you to determine what would be the next steps during this migration journey. Another important step or another important tool we are giving you here is custom code migration app. And we all understand moving from an on-premise world, we would assume that you have done some customization, and that could vary based on your business, based on your needs and all of that. So we help you using a custom code migration app to analyze this custom codes and to understand exactly what's needed to carry with you and what can be replaced by an existing standard functionality. And another important measure that we share with you here is also how often you are actually using this custom codes. This is very important measure because we all maybe have done some customization in the past, but we are not using it regularly, or we are using it maybe in a very few cases or business scenarios. So all of these measures are important for you to take the right decision how you are going to deal with such customized code when you are moving to the new environment. So by adding the support from the Readiness Check and custom code migration app, we believe this will bring for you a great value, helping you into the journey and moving to the new platform. And when we say to the new platform here, I'm talking about S/4HANA Cloud, either the public or private edition. And to do that, let me start first giving you some sort of a comparison between the benefits that you could gain moving for S/4HANA Cloud public edition or the private. Here I'm talking about the public cloud, and we see here we have great benefits and values that you can get by migrating to S/4HANA Cloud public edition. First, in terms of a business benefits, S/4HANA is not only bringing for you this as an ERP platform, but also includes a line of business and industry processes that you are looking for. Currently, it's available for 43 countries, supporting 25 languages. And the most important part, it's coming with a pre-configured integration to other cloud solutions that you could have a need for from SAP perspective. Second, from a strategic point of view, this is the lowest total cost of implementation. So you are using a standard functionality, it's a scalable platform, you can have the fastest time to innovation. So every time SAP innovate, improve the product, automatically this can be reflected into your business. And from technical benefits, talking about the highest degree of automation via machine learning and RPA type of processes, we bring for you here a lot of new innovative business functions and features where we have leveraged the power of such technologies to improve the utilization and the outcome from the system. Flexibility and extensibility is always there. So we offer you two options, either the in-app extensibility, so you can customize inside the product itself, or what we call it the side extensibility using what we call it the code enhancement via ABAP environment or on top of the business technology platform. From operational perspective, it is the lowest total cost of ownership. We are actually helping you being in a native cloud infrastructure. We are going to automate all your processes in terms of authorization, access management, and all the technical operation for upgrade, system maintenance, and all of that done by SAP. So that's a summary of the key benefits that you can get from SAP S/4HANA public cloud offering. If we look for a similar view for the private cloud edition, I would only comment about the differences. So in terms of country coverage, localization, we have an increase here. So we support here more than 64 countries, 39 languages. In terms of strategic benefits, Stella, we talk about more of an OpEx model, but definitely you have the possibility that you can convert your system directly to there, while in the public cloud, you have to migrate the data and maybe build a new configuration yourself. In terms of flexibility, here is the flexibility and customization is much more. Almost you can compare it to what you have used to do it in the on-premise world. And you will have full access to the expert configuration in terms of technical benefits here. You can enhance the code, you can change the configuration to the most level of flexibility, and still you have resilience, and total cost of ownership of hyperscaler infrastructure is one of the great options that you can achieve it with the private cloud editions. So we see too many benefits and values you can get from both sides, and again, based on your business needs, based on your current setup and structure of your systems, you could decide on we can help you definitely on making the decision which way to go. So taking this decision, and if most of the case we decide to go, for example, for private cloud edition, the first thing is that you have to think about it is how to convert my current process. And this is, we call it the transition process. We see here different transition paths are available based on your starting point. So if you're starting from SAP ERP 6, then you have a different transition passes. One of them is to have a completely new implementation. Another is to have a system conversion, or what we call it selective data transition, in which you have to select maybe one scenario, one business process only, and you move in, and then you add other processes. If you are using SAP S/4HANA on-premise, then you have a great possibility where you can simply lift your current environment to the latest release of S/4HANA on-premise, and then shift the entire environment to cloud. And that's, I would call it the easy way how to move your current investment to be in a cloud solution. And if you are using an older version from our ERP like SAP R3 or third-party implementation, so definitely new implementation will be always our advisable path here to transition to a cloud. So just a little bit more details around this, because we understand that this is one of the most important areas that if you are an existing customer, you could think about it. So system conversion is something where we are simply copying your complete system with data, and we try to reuse as much as possible your existing implementation. Plus, we add on top what we call it the innovation layer. So you will have line of business, Fiori, machine learning. These things can be added as a next step. So you convert the system, you convert the data. You can only maybe enhance your existing implementation, and you can have later on adding the layer related to line of business, Fiori, machine learning. If you are talking about new implementations, so we are helping you to build, first of all, a new system, clean environment, and then you start migrating your data. And here we would expect that you start from day one with a full innovation, but definitely you need to put a complete setup for your business processes. And usually we see this as an advantage because you have an option to really adopt the latest best practice in your industry, and not to really be tied up to what you have configured in the past. The last but not least transition path is what we call it selective data transition. And usually we see this for the very large multinational corporation where the complexity is very high. Sometimes those type of organization decide to migrate a specific instance and maybe at one location or a specific business process. So you keep actually the old system for majority of the units, and you start moving unit by unit or scenario by scenario based on your needs. So it's more of a stage. So you make one stage first for the first instance, and then you add or you build on top as you go. So those are different options, but at the end of the day, you are moving your system to the new digital core of S/4HANA Cloud. And as a next step is to have your account on SAP Business Technology Platform, where we believe the value that you can generate from the SAP Business Technology Platform is huge. Looking for the business benefits through more than or close to 2,000 pre-built integration packs, or more than 160 connections to SAP and third-party systems. And technology benefits are there. You can definitely extend the value of S/4HANA by consuming some value-added cloud application, cloud scenarios developed on top of technology platform. You have an access to around 15,000 partners across 25 industries, and those partners have developed value-added services and applications on top of platform. And definitely you have what we call it cost optimization using the free credits that we are giving you part of RISE. So we are not actually looking you to a specific application or a service, or rather we give you a free credit and you can use it the way how you would like. So you can activate or subscribe to any of the application or services that best fit your business, use it and pay only based on the usage for these cloud application and services. Those are just the list of the extensions or the integration or services that's available to be consumed with the free credit that we are giving to you, this CPA credit on top of the B2B. And yeah, you have the freedom, as I mentioned, to activate any of these services that fits well for your business. So that's the second component that you put it in the cloud. And the third one is the business network. And we do understand the business network today is very important for your business. Even we talk about today, we are living a network economy. So whatever you do, regardless of the industry, regardless of line of business, you are actually collaborating with different other entities or different individuals. Like you are dealing with your suppliers, your retailers, your customers, your logistics providers, your manufacturers, your service providers. So you are dealing actually with different parties and different organizations at your business. And it's always recommended that when you design your new business processes, when you are transforming your business, is to make sure that the network piece has been considered from day one part of your end-to-end business processes. So we offer you here part of RISE, what we call it SAP Business Network, because that's in reality bring for you 3 business networks. Those are out of the box integrated to partner forming a global network and provide you more of consistent experience. So the first one is SAP Ariba network, which is actually pretty much give you the platform to collaborate with your supplier during procurement, during sourcing. And then we give you SAP Asset Intelligent Network. And that's very important to have your assets being centrally defined on this platform, and all other parties like your manufacturer, your service provider, your maintenance providers, all of this can share the same record of the assets. So you have one single source of truth that you are dealing with. And last but not least, SAP Logistics Network. And this is very important, especially if you are in a business where you need to deliver your products, your goods at the end of the day to your customers. So you can track them here. You can make sure that you are on top of this, know exactly at which stage these products or these goods on the way to your customers. So let's have a look on how this business network fit into the picture. So starting with the Ariba Business Network. And this is pretty much important because we do understand if you are transforming your business, you need to make sure that you have reduced contract releases, and you need even to increase saving here in terms of cost optimization when you deal with your supplier. You need to reduce your inventory. You need to have a better visibility on what's happening. You need to have more speed communication and collaboration with your supplier, and at the same time reduced risk. And that's pretty much what is SAP Ariba network can give you. There is equally benefits for your supplier to join Ariba network, and you will have advantage of actually leverage thousands of approved suppliers. Also, those are already a part of Ariba network that you can get advantage of. The second network, as I said, the asset intelligent, and that's pretty much important for you to have a central defined profile for your asset, call it your equipment, your machine. You have only one network where all the data will be exchanged concerning your equipment on this platform. So you have some sort of an integral data, and you can have even better operational performance measure or trusted sources of data for this machine. So the collaborations that could happen between your manufacturing, between your asset owner or whoever going to provide the service can be done on a one platform, and that's pretty much the advantages that you can gain from the asset intelligent network. And the third network is your logistics business network here, where you would have a very visible and clear actions on where is your goods today in the journey, transporting these goods or these products from your plants, from your offices or whatsoever, where all of this can be transferred to the customer. And when you have this real-time visibility on where is exactly my shipment stand, what is the expected time of arrivals, so the system will help you to have what we call it freight collaboration with your carriers. And at the same time, also, the system will allow you to have a third-party network that you can be connecting to, and you can track your shipments on top of this. So now we have completed the full picture of cloud, having S/4HANA, having the business technology platform with the three business networks together. And as I said, we give you the possibility to select the infrastructure and operation of your choice, especially if you are talking about a private cloud edition. So you can decide, I would like to deploy this on SAP data centers, on a hyperscaler infrastructure. But the good news, whatever the way you will go for, you are going to deal with a single point of contact, and SAP will provide you one set of service level agreements that cover your infrastructure and your applications together. And this is one of the great benefits and advantages that RISE offer to you. So that's represents a full picture of RISE, and that's being today as our standard path, helping you to migrate your business or to transform your business, and actually to speed and to increase the value that you are actually can gain behind RISE. Back on the beginning of June, SAP has announced in Sapphire 7 transformation packages on top of RISE, and those are 5 industry packages for automotive, consumer products, industrial machinery and components, retail, utilities, and the 2 line of business, modular cloud, ERP, and human experience. So let me first explain what is those transformation packages. So they are an extended value packages on top of RISE Core. So what we have delivered beginning of the year, we call it RISE Core, that sets the foundation that you need to start the journey of transformation. And then with the industry packages, we are helping you not only to transform your foundation, but even extending this transformation to your industries. So we started with those 5 industries. I would call them wave 1, and other industries will follow moving forward. In terms of line of business, we introduce HXM because we always believe people usually come in the center of a transformation. So when you are transforming business, people should be behind this and should be even in the center of driving the transformation for your organization. So we believe HXM highly important to be part of this transformation journey. And then we have modular cloud ERP, which is the latest or the newest offering from SAP, and that's pretty much is an extended value for RISE Core offering, where we add for you another core module from different line of business to extend the value of RISE. So if we are talking today in RISE, you have S/4HANA Cloud, public or private. With modular cloud, you will have S/4HANA Cloud, and then you will have the employee profile from SuccessFactors. You will have Ariba guided buying procurement, and then you have Concur expense. So putting these individual components together, we help you to build a modular cloud over cloud, where number 1, it is an ERP. Second, it is over cloud. And third, it is modular. So you can decide on which module you need to consider today and which module you can activate it later on in the transformation journey. So this is, I would call it now, the big picture regarding to RISE, and that represents the full solution footprint. So to summarize in terms of benefits here, we believe RISE giving you the standard path to transform your business, as I said, and here a few benefits, if I would summarize them. So starting from first, you have only a single party with one service level agreement for your infrastructure application delivered and supported by SAP. With the 5 transformation industry packages, you have an industry next generation, you have the collaborative network from the 3 business networks, openness and modularity, and modular cloud ERP is a great example of that. You can decide on how to structure, how to compose your ERP on cloud. And then you have the digital core represented in S/4HANA with your choice. Either you go for public cloud or private cloud. Infrastructure options, either to roll out this business application on top of SAP data center or hyperscalers. This option giving if you are going for the private cloud edition. Process best practices, insights on what you are doing today, what is the best practice in this industry, benchmarking your current business processes, and even helping you to know what is the gap and how to improve your business process. Set of transformation tools, line of business value represented in the HXM, and last but not least, it is a simplified engagement. So contractually, commercially, you are dealing here with SAP with one contract only for the complete offering with RISE, which is actually great advantage to simplify the process from day one, even during the contractual stage, throughout the journey until you are up running using the system. So that concludes my presentation. And now let's go for the poll questions, number 3, number 4, Jennifer.
Yes, 1 second. I'm going to launch the next one. Is this poll number 1? Here, let's do poll number 2. Let's see. There we go. So if you guys are able to vote, let me know if you can't. Is it unable? Oh, there we go. Yes, so we have 2 questions. When would you expect your organization to kickstart the business transformation journey? And the second one is, how would you rate the importance of RISE for your organization? So I'll give you guys a few seconds to go ahead and vote. All right, it looks like the voting has slowed down, so I'm going to end the polling.
Thank you for listening. Wishing you all the best, and let's rise with SAP.
Yeah, so this question, the first one, it says, not yet planned for when would you expect your organization to kickstart the business transformation journey? That is like the most answered there. And then for the second one, everyone says it's very relevant to their organization, the importance of RISE. So thank you for answering the second poll.
Very good. So thanks for answering the second poll, and it's clear that we all understand and we share also the seriousness of the need to transform the business, and thanks for listening. Let's now move to the questions. So I will stop sharing now, and maybe let's look to the questions that we have it in the Q&A.
Awesome. Khaled, do you want me to read them to you, or would you prefer to just...
I can go through them myself. So we
Awesome.
have the first question from Tausif Ibrahim. So what is the transition path for Suite on HANA customer? Do we have to go for S4 first? Yeah, at all the cases you are moving to S4. Huh? So we are talking here around, so RISE, S4 is a core component of RISE. Huh? So what we are trying to say here, when you are migrating to cloud, there is always a way either to go for S/4HANA private cloud or public cloud, and the options are possible through RISE. And when we say for Suite on HANA, that's pretty much the same transition passes. Those are applicable for ECC. So yes, you can transition following the 3 passes I explained in one of the slides, where I said you can have a new implementation, you can have a conversion for your system, or you can have a complete, like, selective process move. So that's pretty much applicable. Yeah, I would skip this one. Will you please explain the cost in terms of license cost to one scenario for B2B how SAP is offering this. Unfortunately, I cannot explain this exactly what would be the cost, but I can tell you the RISE core packages that I mentioned, it, which is in one side here, that contains S4, B2B, and all of that. It is only one line item and it has only one metric. So we try to simplify this. And I can't tell you the cost of included products just on a high level. If you try to buy them individually, definitely they will be more cost effective buying them under RISE. So RISE provide, I would call it more of promotional, most cost effective buying experience if you buy those product as a package that include S4 business technology platform, business networks, and some of the tools and other things that's included there. Could you please introduce more about HXM? Yeah, so HXM, it is, as I said, so we have the RISE core, and then we have the 7 transformation packages, and HXM is one of the transformation packages. And there, the advantage of those transformation packages that you have the flexibility to define what would be the scope of this, which is different compared to the original or the core RISE package, which have a well-defined list of built-in products and tools. So in HXM, we give you multiple scenarios supported, starting with the basic scenario if you just want to have the foundation of your employee central employee profiles and all of that. And then the second step, if you wanted to build talents, build skills in the organization. So that would be the second scenario. And that's also supported by a predefined list of modules or applications. And then the third scenario is that we are extending this even to the compensation and benefits. So payroll is part of this. So those are the 3 use cases supported by HXM package. And again, advantage of RISE and the transformation packages that you can have flexibility on to select which scenario you will go for. And based on that, you can define your, I would call it, scope of products to be included. I see here question around certification for this. We don't have like a specific certification for RISE, but the same products included under RISE have the whatever the standard, the certification process, those are available today. So if you are certified for S4HANA, if you are certified for business networks, it means you can also use the same certificate also, and it's applied for RISE. So RISE, it is a solution of multiple products, so the certification are available on the products level itself. An ECC customer wishing to move to S4HANA on Azure, why and how would they look at S4HANA Cloud managed by SCs if their infrastructure is managed by, yeah, let's put it this way. Definitely part of RISE, we support the deployment of let's say, RISE private cloud on hyperscaler infrastructure, and Azure is one of them. So we support this. So it will be deployed in Azure, but you will always have an SCB on a front desk dealing with the customer. So we will be dealing with the customer. So customer will sign only one contract with SCB, which includes the application part and the infrastructure part, while the infrastructure will run on top of Azure. At the back, and just to understand how things will work, SCB definitely are having another contract with Microsoft for Azure. So we are representing the first line of support, and for the complex cases, Microsoft teams themselves, they will get in and they will work with us to help on that. But from a customer perspective, you are only dealing with SCB with regard to the platform as well as the applications. Hope that answers the questions. Last or no, still there is more questions. So do you have any intention to expand the more AI applications in HRM field in the future? I would say embed the AI into our applications is always part of our innovation. And yes, generally, not specifically for the HXM field, but generally, SAP are very keen to embed or to improve our solutions by leveraging such technology like RPA, like AI, machine learning, and all of that. and that's pretty much help us to offer you more optimized business applications by leveraging these technologies. So it's always yes. I would say the answer is yes. It seems SAP license with RISE is a SaaS monthly cost versus all the ECC customers that have already paid for their no. So is there's a license cost benefit going with RISE? Yes, if you are an existing customer using an on-premise solutions like ECC or S/4HANA, there is commercially my migration path to get benefit out of this, like converting this into a cloud contract for RISE, and there will be benefit of building on top of this. So this is not something completely new. Rather, it is I would call it like converting your current contract for the on-premise to the cloud, which is, yes, it is a SaaS model, so there will be some sort of monthly or yearly cost associated to your cloud contract. So those are the questions that I see till now in the Q&A section. Not sure if there is any other questions, feel free to ask.
Well, if there aren't any others, I think another one might have just come in.
Yeah, with potentially a small amount of data generated from SMEs, do you think it is an obstacle for SMEs to apply the advanced technology at work? I don't think it's just around everything around data. Data is important. Definitely, it is in the center of how to get value. But at the end of the day, if you wanted to have better control on your business, and I would say, especially if you are an SME organization, you need to have even highly optimized business processes, because usually your profit margins are not high, and usually the competition is very also aggressive in the SMEs sector. So you need to have a system to help you to optimize your operation, to have a better cost control, having a better visibility on what you are doing and what you are planning to do, so you can have also better planning for yourself. So I would say from the angle of productivity, optimization, cost control, I see why not. And just for you to know, we have good number of customers till now moved to RISE. And if I'm not mistaken, almost 50% of the customers are SMEs, which actually shows how the value of RISE has been perceived by SMEs customer.
Great. Well, if there aren't any additional questions, you can also ask any leftover questions in the SAP community, where other people can also learn from those questions as well. I do want to say a quick thank you to our speaker, Khaled. Thank you so much for a great presentation and for answering so many questions. And thank you to our attendees for asking great questions. And I hope to see you all very soon at a future community call. Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a good day. Bye.